Oh boy, has it been a long time. Should I go with the glasses? Nope. Shows off the light. Anyway, hey, a lot has happened since I last went live. Right. Oh, you can see there's a clock behind me right there. All right. That's what that is. Anyway, wow. All right. So here's some news. I want to share some news that this is actually the beginning of me going live again on a pretty regular basis. Um, I know at different times I like to make excuses, why I haven't been going live and all that, but hopefully that's all over with. But all right. So here's an interesting thing. I moved to San Diego. And what an ordeal it has been. So, my wife and I had lived in the Bay Area our entire lives, and now we live in San Diego. Um, Long story short, our daughter moved here in September. My wife was visiting her. She saw a house that she fell in love with. I said no. God changed my mind on that. And it all happened very quickly, which meant a very tumultuous move in that we brought a bunch of stuff with us that we wish we had not. So we've dug our way out. All right. So that's number one. That's the biggest news is the move to San Diego. Um, Second, I guess the second biggest news is that I have taken on a coaching job at Monta Vista High School in Spring Valley, not to be confused with Monta Vista High School when you bring that up. Which is really funny for me because for a long time, Monta Vista was one of my chief rivals, and I used to hate to see the phrase Monta Vista on things. And as you may know, in California, Monta Vista is all over the place. And then that all changed when my team beat them in the finals of North Coast section. So now Monta Vista does not have a stigma because we beat them in the finals for the sectional title. Anyway, and went on to the regionals. But anyway, moving on. So another really big thing, number 3, I'm starting something that is a creation of David Smith, who is a friend and mentor. And so July 8th, we're going to be having Super Saturday for the first time. So July 8th, Super Saturday, 9 to noon, $10 for 3 hours of court time. And there will be a clinic and then a social mixer tournament. And then if that poops out, before the 3 hours, then there will be plenty of open free hitting and all that good stuff. So come on out. Now, another interesting thing is, I have a 12 court facility and I'll be raising money so that hopefully sometime in the next 5 years or so, then I can get the remaining 4 courts, which are unpainted asphalt, right? Yes, you heard me correctly. So they're asphalt tennis courts that have white lines on them, but they have not been treated with the acrylic paint, that makes a tennis court nice. So when I run a tournament and people say, "Oh, are there courts to practice on?" I can go, "There you are. Enjoy your asphalt tennis court." But anyway, that's actually kind of a nice thing because you wouldn't want to give up a playable tournament court in order to be able to do that. All right, now, so that's number 3. Number 4 is that I recently spoke at the USPTA SoCal conference and was very delighted to have received a lot of good feedback from that talk. And it was visual training for tennis. Okay, and I'm getting, oh, look at that. I'm getting a text from somebody. And, and it's someone that I've been bugging the snot out of. So, that's how that works sometimes. Oh, Here's a little tip, effective tennis pro tip, for right now. So you're trying to reach somebody and they're not getting back to you right away, right? So you try them and then you wait a day because 24 hours, that's good. And then you try them again, right? And then what I like to do is if something's fairly urgent, then I like to contact them every 12 hours. And if that's not getting it done, then I will contact them every 6 hours. And if that's not getting it done, I will contact them every 3 hours. And so, yeah, it gets the job done. So, unfortunately, sometimes people aren't very good at returning messages and whatnot. And if you just bother them everywhere on their phone, on their social media. Anyway, that's number 4. Number 5 is coming up, and that is this Sunday in Mission Viejo, hosted by Steve Riggs along with Dave Borelli, over at the Marguerite Tennis Pavilion. So this Sunday, Steve Riggs put tennis coach workshops in the country, right? I mean, a lot of USPTA divisions are struggling to get 75 people to come, and some of them much less, 40, 30, 20. But Steve is getting well over 100, and I want to help him out and hope that he's going to get over 150 people. And it's in Mission Viejo this Sunday, so you can find Steve Riggs on Facebook. He's really easy to find. But that's an amazing thing. And here's the other really cool thing. It's like $75, and there's a really good chance that you will come away with a prize that equals that. And there's a lesser chance that you will come away with a prize that exceeds the cost, right? So like people win a case of balls, and people win like, an iCoach, and they win things like that, So really good chance you're going to recoup your money by coming out. And as always, it's really a fun time to be there with, your fellow teaching professionals, and the speaking lineup is just amazing. So Rajiv Datt is going to be there, Martin Parks, Amanda Fink, and those are just the first 3 that pop into my head. Kenda Hart. I will be speaking on a panel. So Steve said next year I'll be a full-fledged speaker again, but this year I'll be on Ask the Experts. So that'll be on neuroscience, applied neuroscience topics, and the like. So I'm also going to start. Okay, number 6. Here's announcement number 6. So I spent a full day with Ian Westerman at his Airbnb in the desert, because he was at Indian Wells doing a lot of clinics and stuff like that. But he offered a free day hanging out with him at his Airbnb, and he went through basically, and that was really amazing. So Ian, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, but if you're watching this, thank you for that. And it's an interesting thing, because more and more people are consuming their education through video. It's got its ups and downs, its positives and its negatives, but I want to accentuate the positives. Let's see if I can point to that. Oh yeah. And then, so like, I don't know if you've seen my books, but this is like the one that got me started. That's The Art of Coaching High School Tennis. If you've ever read that, if you could write a review, that would really help me. And then if you want to have some fun, read the 1-star reviews. Read the reviews of people who really hated it. Oh, man. And if you are one of those people who really hated it, it could be that you got the first edition. And for that, I would like to apologize and send you a brand new 3rd edition, which is so much better. Anyway, so now piece of news number 7, And I don't even know how many pieces of news I have because it's my first live in quite some time, and I'm just winging it today. I'll start scripting a little bit more coming up. But piece of news number 7, this year I have already published Tennis Strategy 101, which has been one of my better received books. And, you know, if you're a coach, I would highly recommend that you buy one copy of that and then pass that out to your people. So, you know, you're training somebody and they're just getting started playing matches, and you want to save yourself some time. You can inform, you know, your student about some of the really good basic things about how to win a tennis match, or it's essentially how not to lose a tennis match. Because, you know, at 2-5 to 3-0, basically it's just who's going to lose that match today, right? So like an example is, it goes really deeply into getting the ball up and over the net, because as you know, 70% of the errors in a match are in the net. So if you can cut yours in half and the other player doesn't, you've got a huge edge. You're going to win easily. All right. That's 2-5, 3-0, right? Make those shots in the court. And it goes a little bit more into it. I mean, there's, you know, it takes it one step at a time, and then it gets into, you know, the importance of hitting cross court and all that. All right. So I see I have a notification on Facebook. Let's see if, no, it's not it's not for this video, but hey, if you're on YouTube, you know, go ahead and press like on that. Subscribe to my channel, if you will. That'll be nice. If you're on Facebook, you know, you can ask a question or like it or share it or whatever. All right. But still on number 7. So I'm working on a book that is going to be about helping players get their net game to the next level. And so it goes from net avoider to net sneaker to net visitor to net regular to net wait, what was the next one? Net regular, and then net controller, and then finally net dominator, right? And then people seem to want to like make up their own phrase, and that's fine. You can do that. Tell me your favorite thing about playing up at the net. But you know, and this is something in my career I've had a good opportunity to teach lots and lots of people how to become successful at the net. And, you know, it's huge. It's a huge thing. And you're seeing more and more that, you know, top players are being a lot more opportunistic about coming in because, you know, there's such a great winning percentage up there pretty much all the time, unless you're completely overmatched, in which case you might actually make a score respectable by coming to the net. Because if you just stay back and grind with somebody who's grinding you completely down, well, that's charge of the light brigade right there. So, you know, you might as well come forward and eke out a few more points. Anyway, you know, when people are serving and volleying, they're winning 2/3 of the points. And when they're approaching on inside out forehands to the backhand, then they're winning like 63% of the points. And most of the winning percentages are over 60%, which is pretty dominating. Anyway, so that's number 7. That book should be out soon. I hope to have that ready to go actually by this weekend, and it might actually start with a pretty funky cover, but I will solve my cover problem later. If you would like an early edition of that book, and so that you can provide an executive review, I would love that. I'll give you a free copy. So email me, infinitevisioncoach@gmail.com. infinitevisioncoach@gmail.com. All right. Number 8 is that I also have courses that I'm working on, and I already have 3 courses ready to go. One is how to get your players to the net. It's about an hour-long course, and it's very inexpensive, and it shows you progressions for how you can foster net play and build the confidence in players so that they can be successful up there and not beating themselves up. And then another one is how to develop a player's ideal two-handed backhand style, because there are 4 distinct styles, and there's a lot of variation because of how ambidextrous people are or not, right? So some people are more ambidextrous. Anyway, so I see I have 1 viewer. I peaked at 5 on at least one of these platforms. I'm at the 15-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. But I have moved to pretty much uptown San Diego, and I work about 20 minutes from here. Which, if you don't know San Diego, people down here, if they have to drive more than 15 minutes for something, they think really hard about it, because it's a very convenient place to live. So everybody has something close to them. But anyway, 20 minutes. Oh man. But me being from the Bay Area, 20 minutes is not a big deal. I was doing that pretty much every day. In fact, I was driving 25 minutes. Think about that for a second. From wherever you are, you probably drive much farther to get to work. But so the other interesting thing is, if you happen to be in town and you need a place to stay, then we have an additional, we have what's it called? Auxiliary something. Wait, it's a word that means extra dwelling unit. So we have actually like a little apartment under the house, which we can host people. So if you're interested in hanging out, doing some tennis stuff, then that's going to be good. And I'm also, because I have this site now to myself and I'm ready to go, I'm ready to also start doing some coach training and hosting some maybe some high school coach stuff. Now let's go to piece of news number 9, 10. I lost count. But at the USPTA National Conference, there's going to be a National High School Coaches Conference, and a day. It's going to be an entire day, and it's going to be run by high school coaches. Finally, right? So, and this one thing that's been a little frustrating for me over the years has been that when you go to high school coach workshops, then they bring people in who are like elite level coaches who work with, top players, or they'll bring in a Division I coach, or, a country club pro, and they've never coached high school tennis. They don't know how it goes. Right. But this will be run by Scott Enge and David Smith, and they know how to take somebody who's just picking up a racket and turn them into a player right now, because 2 weeks later they have to be able to play a match. So and that's what's happening with my team right now. So so I will end with this. My team right now starts with a cumulative UTR under 10. I think I looked at it the other day and it was 9.4. The another school that I used to coach is our high schools in the country, and they have a 50 something. That's pretty strong. Anyway, thanks for watching. And next time it's going to be more about content, as you see that my ring light just gave out. And, look forward to your comments and questions, and, interact any way you like, pretty much. And I think the topic of the next one is going to be when and if and how you should ever touch your player. This is going to be kind of controversial next time, because, there's this video on Instagram that I commented on, and like 26 people liked my comment. And then a bunch of people got super duper duper triggered. So go to brainsports.coach on Instagram and you can check that out. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Just south of 20 minutes. That's a little long. I don't like to be on this long. Thank you for watching.